Good evening, this is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Ari Darami. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. President Adama Barrow today joined fellow Muslims at the King Fahd Mosque in Banjul for the 2026 Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski prayers, led by Imam Cherno Aliou Maskar. Following the prayers, the President returned to the State House to perform the traditional slaughtering of a ram. And Gambian pilgrims in Mecca today observed Eid al-Adha by carrying out the first ritual of the three-day symbolic stoning of the devil at Jamarat in Mina. Q Group Chairman Mohamed Jah today joined hundreds of Muslims at Taqwa Mosque in Bakau for the Eid al-Adha prayers. Speaking to us following the prayers, he extended warm Eid greetings to Muslims across the country and beyond, calling for peace, unity and peaceful coexistence among people of all backgrounds. And hundreds of residents from Kanifing municipality today gathered at the Talinding buffer zone for Eid grounds to observe Eid al-Adha, one of Islam's most sacred celebrations. And also Muslims from Sukuta and its surroundings on Wednesday observed Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski, with hundreds of worshippers gathered at the community prayer ground. Those were the headlines. Coming up, the news in detail. President Adama Barrow today joined Muslims at the King Fahd Mosque in Banjul for the 2026 Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski prayers, led by Imam Cherno Aliou Maskar. Following the prayers, the President returned to the State House to perform the traditional slaughtering of a ram. Addressing the media, he called for national unity, peace and stability ahead of elections this year, while also urging continued dialogue to help end the conflict in the Middle East. Our colleague Aliou Cisse was there, and here's an excerpt.
Thank Allah for witnessing this day. This day is a very important day in the calendar of the Muslim Ummah. It's a day of reunion. It's a day of reconciliation. It's a day of prayers. So we call on all Gambians to unite, to visit each other, to pray for each other. I think that's what the day is asking for. And this year is a very important year in our calendar. The year is an election year. So we'll advise Gambians to maintain peace, maintain stability in this country, so that we will organize a very successful election. Election that is peaceful, election that is transparent, election that will be recognized by the international community. That being said, we congratulate Gambians and the entire Muslim Ummah for witnessing this very important day in the Muslim calendar. We are very grateful. We have to thank all Gambians for the continuous peace in this country. The country cannot develop without peace. Peace is priceless. So let us all work hard towards peace. Let us all pray for peace and stability. Let us all reconcile in the interests of our country going forward. It's unfortunate that it is happening in the Middle East. And in the Middle East, there are all Muslim countries. And our religion calls for peace. Our religion is a religion that preaches peace. So we expect that all of us should maintain peace. But I call on the parties that are engaged in the war to engage in dialogue. Dialogue is the only way forward.
That was President Adama Barrow with his Eid message. Now, Gambian pilgrims in Mecca today observed Eid al-Adha by carrying out the first ritual of the three-day symbolic stoning of the devil at Jamarat in Mina. Colleague Babatunde Cisse Reports from Mina with Tivawan Travel and Tours.
Allahu Akbar Kabira. Walhamdulillahi kathira.
After spending the night in Muzdalifah, pilgrims walk before dawn to perform one of the most significant rites of Hajj. Ritual of stoning the devil, known as Rami al-Jamarat, commemorates the moment Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, rejected the temptation of Shaitan after Allah commanded him to sacrifice his son, Prophet Ismail. According to Islamic tradition, Prophet Ibrahim threw stones at Shaitan to drive him away. Following this tradition, pilgrims throw 7 small stones at the largest pillar, known as Jamarat al-Aqaba, while reciting Allah Akbar with each throw. Each stone symbolizes the rejection of evil and the reaffirmation of obedience to Allah. The pilgrims and officials describe the experience as spiritually uplifting.
The pearls are stones at Jamratul Aqaba, which is also known as Jamratul Kubra. Jamratul Kubra is the last Jamra, but on the day of Eid, it is the first Jamra that we go to. 7 Jamra.
We throw 7 stones at the Jamarat and later trimmed our hair after completing the ritual. We will return tomorrow and the following day to throw 21 stones each day before heading back to Makkah.
I went to the Jamra, do my 7 stone, came back to do my haircut. Was the part of the Hajj. Sual.
After completing the stoning ritual, pilgrims proceeded with the sacrifice of animals in Mina in remembrance of how Allah replaced Prophet Ismail with a ram during Prophet Ibrahim's test of faith. The act symbolizes gratitude and submission to Allah. Following the sacrifice, male pilgrims shaved their heads or trimmed their hair, while female pilgrims cut a small portion of their hair. The stoning ritual will continue over the next 2 days, with pilgrims returning to the Jamarat to cast stones at all 3 pillars. They will then return to Makkah to perform Tawaful Ifada around the Kaaba, one of the final major rites of Hajj. Babukar Sise, QTV News, Minna.
Now, Q Group Chairman Mohammed Jah on Wednesday joined hundreds of pilgrims at Taqwa Mosque in Bakau for Eid al-Adha prayers. Speaking to us following the prayers, he extended warm Eid greetings to Muslims across the country and beyond, calling for peace, unity, and peaceful coexistence among people of all backgrounds. And Sumana Esonasi reports.
In his Eid message, Chairman Jah congratulated the Muslim Ummah on the occasion of Eid and urged communities to continue promoting harmony, tolerance, and mutual respect. He emphasized that peace remains essential for national development and social stability, and also prayed for lasting peace across the world, highlighting the importance of compassion and solidarity during the holy celebration, and encouraged Muslims to use the occasion of Eid to strengthen bonds within families and communities while extending support to the less privileged.
I want to congratulate everyone and pray that we live to celebrate many more Eids in good health and happiness. This occasion is not only a time for celebration, but also a time to support and uplift one another. We are one people, and we must always show kindness, unity, and compassion towards each other.
Furthermore, he expressed hope that the spirit of Eid would inspire greater understanding and cooperation around the globe, particularly in places ravaged by conflict.
Without peace, we cannot truly worship Allah, carry out our work, or develop our country. We must continue to promote peace, unity, and mutual respect, regardless of our political or religious differences.
Chairman Jah also congratulated Q Group staff and thanked them for their dedication, commitment, and service to the company, and commends them for their continued hard work and contribution toward the growth and success of the group's various businesses. He also expressed appreciation to customers and partners for their continued trust and patronage of Q Group companies, assuring them of the company's commitment to delivering quality services. Antoine So Nyasi for KTV News.
Now that takes us to a commercial break, and when we return, we have more national news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. This is QTV News, and I am Ari Darami. Now, hundreds of residents from the Kanifing municipality gathered at the Talinding Buffer Zone Eid grounds to observe Eid al-Adha, one of Islam's most sacred celebrations. The observance was marked by prayers, reflection, and messages of faith and morality. Usman Jatta reports.
Talinding remains one of the largest Eid prayer grounds in the Kanifing municipality, bringing together hundreds of families, children, and loved ones to celebrate the blessings of Eid in colorful new outfits while glorifying the oneness of Allah.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Worshippers listened attentively as Talinding's Ratib Imam Abu Bakar Jame urged Muslims to fear Allah, increase remembrance of Allah, and strengthen family ties through visits to relatives and neighbors. The Imam later raised concern over what he described as growing social problems affecting society.
Our country, like the wider world, is facing moral challenges. Alcohol consumption is increasing, gambling is spreading, and immoral acts are becoming more common. These are forbidden according to the teachings of the Holy Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him.
National Assembly member Fabakary Tombong Jatta, Talinding Nam Musa Koli, and Talinding South Ward Councillor Karamo Sise and Babukar Vu Jalo also delivered Eid messages.
We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a Muslim feast, as was preached here, where tolerance, family bonds are strengthened, life within society is enhanced, people are able to pardon each other. It embraces all good traits of what will make this world a better place.
We are happy to rejoice in this festive moment to perform another fundamental religious rite. You will recall that the Imam buttressed on that, that in politics we can have divergent views. In politics, because this is political year, which makes it more relevant to touch on it in this khutbah. We as human beings, we cannot be in the same party, all of us, but then we must respect each other's opinion.
And then we are so much grateful to see a lot of people around, most especially our elders in the community. And then the wonderful prayers from Imam Chebu and then Imam Jembe. We are so much grateful. And then all the messages that they shared here, they are message of compassion, message of unity.
We would say 3 times Alhamdulillah. We are very happy to be alive, number 1, to be healthy too, and to attend this Eid. Talinding is a big community, a large one. Me and my committee members, we once sat down, that's about some 10 years ago, and we said we need to do something about here. Because what normally happens is people just come and they put their mats and they just sit down. They don't have time, they don't have all these things. So we organize ourselves and we take care of all the Islamic things that is happening within Talinding.
As Eid prayers end in Talinding, now celebrations continue in homes and communities, with families embracing the true spirit of Tobaski, faith, sacrifice and unity. Reporting for QTV News from Talinding, Osman Jatta.
Now, Muslims from Sokoto and the surrounding areas on Wednesday observed Eid al-Adha prayers, locally known as Tobaski, with hundreds of worshippers gathered at the community center to pray. Pakaba Suse was there, and this is his report.
In Sokoto, worshippers from all walks of life and background gathered in unison in their finest attire to observe and commemorate the historical test of devotion and submission represented by Idul Adha, locally called Tobaski, and also the occasion is an opportunity to build peace and rekindle family ties. Deputy Imam Alhaji Babukar Cham, who led the prayers, urged Muslims to unite, respect neighbors' rights, flush out hatred, and be honest in performing their duties, as everyone will be accountable for his or her deeds. Traditionally, in many Gambia communities, the imams are the first to sacrifice their ram, with families and friends exchanging gifts and helping the needy with meat and cash. Here are Imam Omar Bojang and Modu Lamin Cham, son of the Sukuta Alkalo.
Yeah, all Muslims should celebrate this day in a way that is recommended by Islam and this prophetic way or the Sunnah that is applied on this Islam. So we also have to celebrate this day by worshiping Allah, giving charity, visiting friends and families, and have mercy for kings and kids.
Oh, we are grateful for the day, and then we just give thanks to Allah, and for Him to give us many more to come.
As the Gambia heads to the December presidential elections, worshippers like veteran broadcaster Alhaji Modu Juf and others prayed for peace and stability before and after the elections, while urging Muslims to jealously protect the peace in the country. Baba Sise, CEO and founder of the Balance Crew, also had this message.
I will use this particular Eid because we are heading to the election. Let me say it to the entire Gambia. We are heading to the election. Hate speeches, tribalism. These are things that shouldn't divide us. I have been to countries like Rwanda. I've seen what tribal war has created. I've seen how people suffer. Some people, they don't know war, but once war started, you understand, conflict started, because war will start from conflicts and it escalates to war. But how those conflicts start is through what we share to each other in terms of war, the exchange of war.
Many families in Sukuta and other communities still honor a long to basket tradition, where all family members, despite living away from the family, will bring their rams together at the main family compound for sacrifice and as a symbol of togetherness. Apart from the spiritual sacrifice, charity and supporting the needy, Eid al-Adha has a great connection to the Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It falls on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, the final month of the Islamic lunar calendar. Pakaba Suso, QTV News.
Now, thousands of Muslims gathered at the Brikama prayer grounds for the Eid congregational prayers to mark Eid al-Adha, the Muslim feast locally known as Tobaski. Our colleague Mamadou Gajaga was there, and he now reports.
Many in the West Coast region observed Eid al-Adha prayers, locally known as Tobaski today, bringing together the Muslim Ummah in Brikama, the region's capital. The day began with the traditional takbir, Allahu Akbar, chanted by thousands as they made their way to the prayer ground. This is not merely a gathering, it is a reaffirmation of faith and obedience, commemorating the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son. Here is the Imam of Brikama, Alhaji Sankung Ture, on the importance of faith. Sacrificing an animal like ram, goat, cow, and camel is part of following the good deeds of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and whosoever has the means to sacrifice should do so as an act of worship. Community elders, such as the chief of Brikama, Dembo Juju Bojang, advised that despite this being an election year, people should get to work after politics and urge unity in the community. Ustaz Muhammad Drame advised the youth to be steadfast and continue to work hard for the development of the community, while Yankuba Dabo, the chairman of Brikama Area Council, prayed for peace. Let us unite because it is our strength, and we can only develop our community if we come together. We are now increasing in number and size. My advice to the youth is to be dedicated and hardworking. Saying, I want to become a good leader or occupy a top position is not enough. You have to work for it. We are in an election year. I pray for a peaceful conduct of the election. Let there be peace so that we can continue our good deeds and relationships. As Muslims departed the prayer ground to join family and loved ones to enjoy the rest of the day, they did so with words of faith, obedience, and unity in their thoughts. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
And now on to our final story. Last week, the first ever Gambia Chief Financial Officers Conference and Awards was officially hosted at the OIC Conference Center, convening the country's top financial minds, regulators and business executives to establish a permanent national platform focused on driving economic growth, transparency and professional excellence. Mam Nabuka was in attendance and she now reports.
Organized by iGrow Venture Limited in partnership with Fatiman & Co., the event brought together over 100 chief financial officers, finance directors, heads of finance and senior business executives spanning both the public and private sectors to discuss and tackle core regulatory and developmental hurdles facing the Gambia's finance ecosystem. Here is Njilan Senghor, the chair of the conference, expanding on the significance of the event.
Through today's discussions on compliance and governance, on talent transformation, on financing growth, on public-private collaboration, and the future of finance professionals, we have an opportunity not only to exchange ideas, but to help shape stronger institutions, stronger businesses, and ultimately a stronger national economy.
Reflecting the core values it represents, the engagement gained strong institutional backing from prominent corporate partners and national sponsors including NAWEC, Ajib Bank, the Gambia Revenue Authority, QCell and the Gambia National Petroleum Corporation, among others. Yankuba Dabo, the GRA's Commissioner General, shared some remarks as a key sponsor and regulatory partner.
For us as tax people, they are the middle people between us and the business community and the institutions that they work. You are central to the promotion of the voluntary compliance, which is the backbone of any effective tax administration.
Dauda Jawara Jr., NAWEC's board chairman, centered his speech around the significance of the environmental, social and governance ESG framework in building sustainable institutions and driving forward financial and economic growth.
It actually forces institutions to report more transparently than they may feel that they have to do. Building institutions that are sustainable and credible and resilient for future generations.
Mod Eki Seka, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Finance, addressed the chief finance officers directly, reminding them of the critical role they play in national development.
We are introducing reforms. The PFM, that is Public Financial Management Act, will be strengthened. We are deepening our commitment to the Integrated Financial Management Information System, the IFMIS. We are working to expand financial inclusion so that the informal economy is brought into the formal financial architect of this country. But reforms are paper without people. The people in this room are the difference between policy and impact.
The event culminated in the inaugural CFO Awards overseen by an independent advisory and judging board, designed to boost public confidence and credibility. By recognizing outstanding leadership and professional integrity, organizers seek to showcase viable role models for emerging professionals while cementing an enduring national tradition of merit. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, before we end, here's a recap of tonight's headlines. President Adama Barrow today joined Muslims at the King Fahd Mosque in Banjul for the 2026 Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski prayers, led by Imam Cherno Aliou Maskar. Following the prayers, the President returned to the State House to perform the traditional slaughtering of a ram. And Gambian pilgrims in Makkah today observed Eid al-Adha by carrying out the first ritual of the 3-day symbolic stoning of the devil at Jamarat in Minna. Q Group Chairman Mohamed Jah on Wednesday joined hundreds of Muslims at Taqwa Mosque in Bakau for Eid al-Adha prayers. He spoke to QTV following those prayers and he extended warm Eid greetings to Muslims across the country and beyond, calling for peace, unity and peaceful coexistence among people of all backgrounds. Hundreds of residents from the Kanifing municipality gathered at the Talindin Buffer Zone Eid grounds to observe Eid al-Adha, one of Islam's most sacred celebrations. And Muslims from Sokoto and the surrounding areas on Wednesday observed Eid al-Adha prayers, locally known as Tobaski, with hundreds of worshippers gathered at the community prayer grounds. That's all for this bulletin. There will be no 10 p.m. bulletin tonight, but join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.